Jedi didn't deem worthy.
Silence! Give it to me. Now, Padawan!
It's not too late. Give me the plans.
No!
We can still find your brother.
I've only ever protected you. You must trust me.
Very well.
Sahar. I'm sorry.
All your life you've been in a cage, Padawan. When you're ready, break free.
Set 3,000 years before the stories of Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, Star Wars The Old Republic is an epic story-driven Star Wars experience in a massive, explorable galaxy. With 8 unique origin story paths and hundreds of story choices across dozens of planets, which path will you choose first? Will you fight to protect the Republic or support the rise of the Sith Empire? Will you seek justice or vengeance? Will you find love? Will you fall to the dark side or follow the path of the light? We're thrilled to be here to celebrate how far this game has come in the last 13 years, as well as the new and exciting experiences we're still building each year. We've added many chapters to the epic story saga, new and improved gameplay systems, unique gear, seasonal events, dynamic encounters, and more. This is a living, breathing galaxy filled with countless details to explore, and you don't have to do it alone. Make allies or enemies in co-op story experiences, PvP matches, starfighter battles, and large group encounters. In addition to new content, we have continued to enhance the game with modernization in environments, lighting, characters, and technical performance, and countless quality of life improvements across the game. In our current story, Legacy of the Sith, the infamous Darth Malgus has set his sights on the demise of both the Republic and the Empire. Intertwined in Malgus's plans are the Twi'lek siblings Sahar and Rakan Katine, one a former Padawan who has lost her way, the other a protege to the rogue Mandalorian Hedda Cole. And as with all stories in the Old Republic, at the center of all of this is you. Through all the twists and turns, the allies and the enemies, your choices will determine what comes next for the galaxy. We want to give a heartfelt thank you to everyone who has shared and continues to share their love for this game. From all the developers that have built these experiences, to the actors that breathe life into our stories, to the players who have found home and community in our worlds. We are still here 13 years later because of your love, passion, and enthusiasm for Star Wars The Old Republic. Thank you, and may the Force be with you.
Our paths are not destined. They are forged. shaped by ambition and fear. The desire for power. The need for control. The price of obedience. We allowed corrupt doctrines to dictate the paths before us. No longer.
What's this you're talking about? You want me to increase the volume?
Change is coming.
Haven't you guys seen this stuff already?
Forged from pain and rage.
It's on YouTube, you know.
And sacrifice.
Oh, hello there.
My chains are broken.
I'm gonna annoy you all now. Now what you gonna do? Now what you gonna do? Eh? Now you just gotta listen to me. It's 10 seconds left. We got this. So what's our dev stream, man? Let's see how this goes. I'll turn it up. Don't worry.
Everyone, welcome to the Game Update 7.7 Star Wars The Old Republic developer live stream. I'm Jackie, Senior Community Manager.
Oh, I cut you off. I didn't.
Oh, you did.
I was only going to let you get your
two practice rounds, Musco. Two practice rounds.
first names only today. Hi, Jackie. Sorry, you can finish.
Hi. What's your title again?
I don't know. I'm Eric Musco, Game Director. I did get it right this time.
You did. I'm very proud of you.
I am too.
We have quite a stream for you all today.
Here
it's
we go.
Quite beefy.
I'm just getting into talking because I'm going to be in this chat talking for like 2 hours.
You are.
That's why I have tea right here because I'm just going to need it.
Go you. So and that's a good thing for all of you because this is going to take well over an hour. There is an active Twitch drop campaign right now. So if you watch 1 hour of live SWTOR content on Twitch, you can obtain the Droman Cost poster decoration.
Yep.
Make sure, because this happens quite often, make sure that you go to SWTOR.com on your account.
Is that loud enough for you all, by the way?
Your SWTOR account with your Twitch accounts. Marry those two together, and then you can start accruing time to obtain this reward.
Yeah,
what does it look like?
I'm confident if you don't even have a SWTOR account, you could probably go make a SWTOR account, go make a Twitch account, go hook them up.
Alright, somebody ban that guy.
You'd do all of
You'd
that.
have time
You'd
to
still
earn
have
it.
enough time to do all of that and still earn it before the stream's over.
Yeah, it's a very, very chunky stream.
Yep.
So this is what it looks like. The campaign will remain active until May 22nd. And as per usual, we have a Twitch drop for a live stream.
Yep, this is for today.
And then we also have a Twitch drop to go live when 7.7.
When the game update goes live. Yeah, which is
When is that?
Is too good.
Yeah, look at that. The Embarn Hollow Rancor mount.
I don't know what.
When?
Beautiful.
I don't understand.
We're just going to stay here for a second.
I don't know who approved this.
Accrue some time for that Droman Cost
I don't understand
poster.
who approved this, but
Oh, it's so good.
this is too good.
Look at that.
Yeah. So when 7.7 goes live, you need to make sure you still have your Twitch account hooked up.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty cool mount.
Some amount of time. How many hours do you need to watch?
Amount of time.
It's a reskin, obviously, but this is a good one.
Hours.
Is that what it is?
5 hours for watching live SWTOR content.
Yep.
Yeah. Some players have asked like if it counts when you watch a VOD, and it does not. You have to make sure that you are watching live content.
We should have done 7.7 hours. But yeah, watch some good amount and get. I mean,
it's not live yet. I can do it now. We'll keep it. At
Amazing
5. Keep it at
purple
5.
hollow rancor.
But
It's
yeah,
so good.
but wait, there's more rewards that you can earn on the heels of Star Wars Celebration if you redeem. It's so good. It's such a good design. Redeem code SWTOR SWC25 to unlock the Amethyst Flotilla mini pet. Look at that little cutie. Make sure that you go to SWTOR.com/redeem-code, and this reward will be obtainable until May 30th. So make sure you get on that if you have not received it yet.
Yep.
But wait, there's more. If you are a subscriber, subscribers with an active subscription as of May 23rd will receive the Naboo Type C speeder mount, which that color palette is based off of the key art from Star Wars Celebration.
That's what I'm wearing. We're gonna keep pointing to my shirt. This was like the key art of Star Wars Celebration, one of them, because they had a few, I think, right? I wasn't there. I ordered the shirt online, so I don't know. But this was
There's like a windbreaker. Oh, it was like there's. A whole bunch
this
of
is
stuff.
So this is like
have a fan.
the key art. Which one of the?
Oh, I'll be right back.
Oh no, you forgot it. Good. So you
Nope,
can't.
I didn't. Hold on.
God dang it. Anyway, I'll talk about this while Jackie assaults me with a fan. So this is this was inspired by Mando. This is the Naboo Type C speeder mount. So if you subscribe anytime between now,
So it was inspired by the Phantom Menace then.
What
I'm
is
just
today's
saying.
date? I don't even know.
The 8th.
The 8th, thank you. Okay, so you have about 2 weeks to still get this. So if you
This looks
subscribe
horrible,
now,
by the
or
way.
if you subscribe anytime between now and May 23rd,
This mount itself, it looks horrible, but the flourish, the rocket spirally thing, it's pretty neat. But the mount itself looks pretty bad, in my opinion.
and of the color palette of Star Wars Celebration, which is really awesome.
Yeah. I think we have another reward.
I'm glad that you forgot that, so you couldn't just randomly whip it out of your
Okay,
jacket.
so quite honestly, like this thing is so big that
Yeah, it wouldn't.
I didn't want to accidentally
you
actually
would have
hit
probably
you.
actually hit me with it. Yeah.
But we're still celebrating May 4th. If you have not log into the game, you can get this really cute B25 SAL mini pets. We also do have a couple of sales that are happening right now. There is a 50% off collection unlock sale. There's all of the inspired by items.
Yeah, those are easy to spot. If you just pull up the Cartel Market, you have those nice tabs at the top, and then there's a drop down for all the tabs that'll just point you to any of the items inspired by other Star Wars properties. So they're nice and easy to spot.
Yeah, those are all between 25 to 75% off. And if you're going to be creating some new characters, which you're going to have some motivation later on in this stream, we have a double XP event that's happening right now. So all of that will be available until May 16th.
Of course, the beautiful B25 SAL inspired by
Yeah,
Andor.
little cutie.
Cute little guy.
So awesome. All right, 7-7 dynamic.
Ooh, a Cartel
world.
Market mention
That's just all
counter.
the stuff.
Good idea.
We haven't even talked about anything yet.
All right,
Great.
let's
Yeah.
get into what we're talking about today.
Yeah, so first we're going to give you an update. Ashley's going to join me to give you a quick update on what's going on with Galactic Threads and the Masters Enigma story update. We're going to talk about a new window that's coming called the Eras window, along with some updates we're making to the mission log. We're going to talk about, and then Bryant is going to join me from afar on Zoom. We're going to use the series of tubes technology.
Yeah, because previously he's attended the stream, but as a pre-recorded video.
Yeah,
So now that
yeah.
we're doing
Yep.
this live,
No
and
pre-recording. We're going to do it
so
live.
hopefully everything.
Yep. So we're going to talk about Master Mode XR53. We're going to talk about PvP Season 8, Champions of the Wild. We're going to talk about the return of Nar Shaddaa Nightlife and sweet rewards you can get there as well. We're going to talk about all of the new dynamic encounters that are coming across the galaxy, and they are across the galaxy. It's a new quality of life updates coming across a whole bunch of different stuff, which is very exciting to talk about as well. And then Brad's going to join me to talk about new things coming to the Cartel Market. Give you a status
there we
update
go.
on character modernization updates. And then a couple of
One.
other various things like PTS for 7.7.
There we are,
and all this
boys.
other stuff.
Yep. So that's pretty much it
Strap
for
in.
me. I will be coming back to talk
Oh yeah,
about
you're back too. Somewhere I forgot to even point. You're
Dynamic
back
en-
too somewhere.
It's fine.
I don't know.
Dynamic encounters and quality of life updates.
There you go. Yep, and you're in there somewhere. We need like
Right.
color code. Who's where? It's just me. I'm there. All of it.
I'm
So-
just gonna be a boba drink. I don't need a color code. Just
There you
a
go.
little icon. Goodbye.
Thanks, Al.
Ooh, they're gonna talk about the story. Okay, we just need a date. That's all we need. Just give us a date. That's it. I mean, it'd be cool to know some other details around it, but the date is most important, I think. Hope you guys are doing good as well, by the way. Hope you guys are doing good. Welcome in. Welcome. Welcome. No news just yet on Twi'lek faces. No. I don't know if they're going to talk about that.
And we are back.
Let's find out.
I'm joined by. I'm going to let you say more than just your first name. First name this time. I'm joined by.
I am Ashley Rule. I am the narrative director on the Old Republic.
Awesome. And we're going to talk a little bit about both our story updates and we're going to talk about Air's Window and the mission log. But first, let's talk a little bit about story. We'll do a little setup. What do we got up?
So, if you were at the beginning of the stream not too long ago, you saw the trailer that we showed at Celebration. We're just going to show it again here for a sec. There's a couple key things here we want you to take note of as we talk forward in the story.
I guess spoilers.
Spoilers, if you haven't played Desperate Defiance, there's some spoilers, but it's really good.
Yeah, enjoy.
All right, well, we saw this already, but we'll watch it again. Yeah, they also played it at the beginning
Our
of the stream.
paths are not destined. They are forged. Shaped by ambition and fear.
We play on Darth Malgus Auto,
Desire for
and the answer is
power.
yes, we are recruiting.
The need for control. The price of obedience. We allowed corrupt doctrines to dictate the paths before us. No longer. A change is coming to the galaxy, forged from pain and rage and sacrifice. My chains are broken, and now I will break them all.
All right. So, chains have been broken or are breaking.
Yes.
There's chains and breaking occurring.
Yes, lots of chains and then no chain.
And then no chains.
Yes.
Hide your chains. So, quick context setup just before I hand it off to Ashley, just to give you just a little bit of information on Galactic Thread. Just as a reminder for those of you that weren't around, at least when we talked about this during the 7.6 live stream. So Galactic Threads, when we refer to that, what we're referring to is that's the story update that we were working on in the 7.6 time frame. The reason that we haven't released it again is just that we're missing a couple of critical pieces that we need in order to be able to release it. So when we're referring to Galactic Threads, that's what we're talking about. We still don't have those pieces, which is why we haven't released it. But as soon as we do, we will. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about Galactic Threads, is kind of the 7.6 storyline.
Yes, and we're recapping a little bit of it here, just as a reminder of what we're doing. We're not going to give, again, too many spoilers because you haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
But just kind of a reminder of where we're going with the story. So in Galactic Threads, we are pursuing Malgus and Shea Vizsla after.
Guys. This is the same presentation sheet they gave us when the freaking expansion first came out. Pursuing Darth Malgus, Darth Null's holocron, the threat of the hidden chain, and Malgus's plans for the freaking galaxy. 3.4 years later, and we are given the same freaking slide. The same slide. 3 years, guys. 3 years.
Include something that you may have spotted in the Malgus celebration trailer. So check it out.
A Rakatan mine trap. Whoever is inside this prison will wish to escape, and they will try to claim your body to do it. Your connection to the Force will only do so much. I will do what I can to protect you.
So just a little bit more of a teaser of what we get to do. We get to get some quality time with Lana. We get to investigate Rakatan mine.
A few of us have called that someone was in the mine trap. So we were right. Thank you very much.
I don't. Chains.
Yeah.
Malgus is like, is there chains in there? Because I'm gonna get in there.
Dr. Chains. Yeah.
Oh, you know it, Exiled.
He's like,
You
"Is there
know
chains
it.
in there? Because I'm gonna get in there.
Yeah, and break them.
And I'm gonna break them.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm gonna do. Yep.
So, going off of Galactic Threads, our next story chapter is Master's Enigma,
Yep.
which is what we're currently working on now.
Yep.
Immediately following the events of Galactic Threads, it is investigating more of Darth Nul's holocron. Again, I'm going to stay very light because I don't want to give you any spoilers because you want the build-up. But we're investigating the holocron and really getting down into what is happening with this holocron, why it's important. In addition, we are also centering around a mysterious figure that some of you might have spotted also in the trailer. And more of that to come, but literally chomping at the bit to let y'all know what's going on here, because this is really a turning point in the story. Things are coming to a head. A lot of these different threads and factions are starting to come towards the same conclusion.
Yeah, and worth highlighting, right? Like, not only we've talked about unraveling what Malgus's plan are, a deeper investigation into Null's holocron, and it's worth pointing out that if you look at both what was in the CG trailer of Legacy of the Sith, it's Malgus broke in there to get a holocron, and certainly if this is the turning point, maybe that's to reveal some of what this is, right?
Yeah. Now that he's not in prison, he might actually get to see those plans come to fruition.
Yeah. And so I know the question that's on everyone's mind, I can't see chat at the moment, but I'm sure this is the question, is when do I get to play these things? And so just to reiterate a couple of kind of bouncing off of what I said on the last slide. So again, Galactic Threads is intended as kind of the 7-6 storyline. You obviously haven't gotten to play that yet. Masters Enigma is intended as the 7-7 storyline. Again, we're missing some of the pieces that we need in order to be able to release those to you. We're just as eager for you to play that as you are. As soon as we have those pieces, we will come back to you and let you know as soon as we can what our release schedule
They still don't have it.
We don't have that information currently, but as soon as we do, we will let you know, okay? So just hold tight. We'll get that information to you as soon as we can.
There's no way.
So we do appreciate your patience, though.
A very cool story-related quality of life improvement, the Eras window.
That's right. So
There's no way you can just move past that. What the fuck did we just listen to? Nothing?
Where you are in the journey, as well as where you've been and where you can go next. It's a very chronological order of things, and it includes summaries and also links to your gameplay.
And so just a quick note about what exactly the Eras. So if Ashley talks about kind of what it is, let me talk a little bit about why we're doing it, because this is going to be a little bit of a through line that you're going to hear me talk about a lot kind of through today's stream. When you think about the timing of 7.7 and kind of where we are now, Star Wars Celebration, we've just come off of May the 4th. Something that we see
they're
a
actually
lot
doing like an
in
in-game
summer
journal
updates. We see a
type
lot of
thing.
new players
I was
coming into
talking
the
about
game.
this
We see a
not
lot
even
of
that long
players
ago.
coming back into the game, whether that's players that they haven't played in a long time. A lot of you watching the stream are a lot of active players, but you might have friends that have come back and joined back into the game, and they might just come back in and go, well, dang it, I was a Jedi Knight.
Where was I? Who am I?
Yeah,
What's happening?
who am I in this galaxy? And so the Eras window can really help kind of ground you back into where you were in that story journey. And so let's talk a little bit about what that looks like.
So the game is broken into what we're calling eras. And the eras are a through line of story that has sort of a beginning and end, has concurrent characters within these eras. They are mostly bound by expansions, but not always. But the idea is that you can see encapsulated in the summaries each basically large era of the game. And you can kind of figure out where you were and what you've completed and what you haven't completed. And so, just kind of figure out where you're at.
And again, the thing that's really important to understand is these are not comprehensive novellas that you can click and go, Onslaughts, let me read this 75-page explanation of what has happened in Onslaught. No, kind of as you can see here, it's meant to be 2 or 3 paragraphs that you can read very quickly to go, oh, got it. Here's what's happened very quickly to get me a very 2 or 3 paragraph synopsis. Got it. Click into my mission log, take me back to my crit path mission and get me right back into the game.
This gives you enough reference point, too, for when you jump back into your mission log and you have the mission and where you're going. It's like, where does that fit into all of this? Where does it fit into these different eras? And really just gives you a bird's eye view of everything, especially if you have a lot of different characters and you don't remember where each of those characters are.
Right. Yeah. And for those of you that are super active players, right, it can be helpful for you as well. Like I can't point to Keith because I can't see him behind all the monitors over there, but like he jumps to his 19th character that he hasn't played in a while, and he also could just lose track of where he is in the story that he's been playing, even being very familiar with all of the characters that he's playing. This can kind of, again, ground you in that experience where you are inside of the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some people are asking in chat if decisions are listed.
No, they're not currently.
Well,
Yeah.
you might want to.
Oh yeah. So the question that came up in chat is, are decisions listed? No, they're not currently. This is meant as an overview of where you are holistic.
Alright, that's a completely fucking pointless feature then. Decisions are not featured inside of it. It's literally just a synopsis of each expansion and which expansion you're currently in. That's it. That's a completely fucking useless feature. When you go to the mission console and you read the description of the mission for the expansion you want to take, it tells you exactly that. So what the fuck is this for? If it doesn't tell you what your decisions were, or any kind of actual callback to anything, then what the fuck is this for? That is a huge waste of resources. You made this for absolutely no reason at all. And Andy, you're right, there is a subscribe button on that window. Yeah, that is literally a complete waste of time. Complete waste of time. The moment they said that there was no decisions on there, that's what I was waiting for. That's what I wanted to know. The moment they said that, yeah, dead feature. Absolute dead feature. Nobody's going to care about that at all.
Your crit path. And so, one, we updated. I'll give you 3 quick examples, and you'll see this in both the before and after. First one being, we reduced purple usage so that it mainly focused on crit path. Second thing, there's a bit of shuffling around and reorientation of where things fall within the mission log UI itself, mostly just for easier navigation, so that important information is easier to find and easier to navigate through. And the third one, and this one is kind of just a nice, easy slam dunk clickety clack, which is inside of your details section. If you say, hey, I want to go to the Minbusa district, well, imagine if you could just go click to galaxy map and then travel to it instead of having to navigate to an extra UI. So again, this is just a nice, easy way to, if you want to re-onboard or move through your narrative, you can go, give me an overview of where I was again, take me directly to my mission log to get me into that, take me back directly to travel and get back into the gameplay much faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Overall, just a nice flow to get you back on track, and so you can pick things up where you left off.
Yep. So that kind of walks us through where we are with narrative in today's game, eras window, and updates to the mission log.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hope to see y'all soon, hopefully.
Yeah, that's all just complete bullshit, to be honest. User interface changes I'm not really bothered about. They can do them, don't do them, it didn't really bother me too much. Although I did kind of like the previous aesthetic of these circles. But yeah, sure, whatever, we can get checkboxes now, and then that kind of matches Group Finder or something, I suppose. Yeah, that's nothing significant at all. There was literally nothing of value there. The errors window, if it doesn't give you your decisions, if it doesn't actually remind you of very critical parts of things that you care about, then there's no point in having it. If it quite literally is just a synopsis of each expansion and which one you are currently playing in, then that's stupid. It's basically just a shortcut button for the window console, the mission console. That's a ridiculous feature. It didn't need to be there at all. It is bloat. It's completely bloat. I'm not even trying to be critical here. Like, I'm just saying logically that it makes no sense. It was a completely pointless feature. Completely pointless feature. Anybody knows where they are in the expansion stories because you have this thing called a mission tracker, and the mission tracker has what we call a synopsis of the mission. Yeah, it's normally pretty obvious. I don't think there's much confusion. You need to have a verified Twitch account to even comment there. Yeah, I think that's true. You believe that they just have no idea what to do without voice actors? They need to continue the story. They do need to continue the story. They shouldn't have relied so heavily. See, this is why they should have had this done work way in advance. Way in advance. If anything, all this does is show how unprepared they were for some kind of delay in work. Because without the story, what else have they got? Apart from this fluff content that they seem to be doing. Nobody cares about UI changes. This live stream has been going now for how long? 34 minutes. And the only things that you know is that the mission boxes look a little bit different.
Hey everyone, I'm Bryant Wood, Senior Systems Designer on Star Wars The Old Republic.
And just as a reminder, Bryant is joining us from afar through a series of tubes. So if I do something weird, like put my arm through the chair where Bryant is sitting, don't worry, I have not decapitated Bryant. He's not actually sitting in this chair, and I will probably forget that. So don't be alarmed. So we're going to talk through XR53 Master Mode. We're going to talk through some augment updates, the new PvP season, and Nightlife coming back for all your clickety-clacking needs. So first up, let's talk about XR53 Master Mode. So it's coming with Game Update 7.7. And Brooks, can you remind me? Brian can see the presentation, right? Yeah, okay, sweet. Okay, just double check him. Cool.
Yes, I can see.
Cool. Let's talk about what's coming with Master Mode XR53. So first up, the easiest one, which I can certainly mention, is that it's Master Mode, and so it's harder. It has new mechanics, and it's trying to kill you. So I think plenty of players may have seen this when they played it on PTS, because we had it on PTS a few weeks ago. So that's definitely one thing that players should expect. Obviously, yeah, lots of new mechanics, lots of ways that's trying to kill you. You should expect that it's going to be a lot harder. But the thing you can certainly talk to, Bryant, if you want, new achievements, new rewards.
Yeah, so you can see an example of some of the new achievements on stream right now. And we'll be getting into a few of the expected and unexpected rewards for Master Mode XR53.
Awesome, yeah, let's jump in. So first up, new augments.
Yeah, so when we released Relentless Replication in Story and Veteran Mode, players got a taste of the Premium Prototype and Artifact tier of augments. We're now going to be releasing the Legendary tier of augments at item rating 318 in the various stat distributions you see now.
Awesome. And the first obvious question is, how do you get those schematics?
You'll get these augment schematics dropped from XR53 Lair Boss on Master Mode. You're going to have a chance for the schematic to drop. It is a fully tradable schematic again, and it will have bad luck prevention after 3 kills, along with a large inflow of the corrupted bioprocessors needed to craft it, and then a bonus chance to get a crate of 50 bioprocessors.
Oh, that's certainly very nice. And I think the bad luck prevention is really nice as well. That's something that we added certainly more recently for folks that, if you're good enough to kill Master Mode XR53 3 times, it's nice that you can certainly guarantee that you'll be able to get the schematic in that window of time. Yep.
Yeah.
And then who's going to be able to craft it? All the usual specifics that come with that.
Yep. So the augments will be crafted by Armormech, Arms Tech, and Synth Weaving. You're going to use components that are crafted by Artifice, Biochem, and Cybertech, and using those materials dropped from Propagator Core XR53.
Well, Brian, I have a problem, though. I don't want to play Master Mode XR53.
You know what? That's okay. You can't have the schematic, but there are other ways that you can work towards it. The first thing that I'll repeat is, as we've mentioned, these will be fully available on the GTN. These schematics are tradable. But what we are also doing is, for PvP players, we're giving you an opportunity to earn some of the corrupted bioprocessors. So when you complete your weekly mission, Go Berserk or Spoils of War, you'll have a reward choice between the Thursian upgrade cache if you just need gear, the WZ1 accelerant if you're looking for currency to convert, or the corrupted bioprocessors in a small amount.
Sweet. And then there's changes also to veteran mode as well, right?
Yep, so for veteran mode, we have increased the drop chance of the augment schematic, and we've increased the chance of the bioprocessor satchels and the crate of bioprocessing parts, just to make the inflow of those materials a little faster.
Now, the nice thing is that I know for some people, they've paid attention a lot to a lot of the details that we've just dropped, but let's hit the TLDR just for the people that weren't paying attention to the super nitty-gritty specifics.
Yeah, so in summary, hop into Relentless Replication on Master Mode, kill the boss, loot the schematics and the materials, or purchase them from the GTN if you need, and then craft your augments.
Easy peasy. That's nice and easy to follow along. Now, that's just talking about power, if you want to be able to try to make yourself even stronger. But obviously, it's not just all about power. We also need something that just makes you look sweet, right? Because this is a master
It
mode.
wouldn't be
after
a
all.
master mode without a special mount.
That's true. So what are we doing for that?
So in line with what we've previously done for master modes, we took some inspiration from the boss to create a new mount for players to ride on.
Yeah. So this is the replication throne, which I think is basically just the top of it ripped off that you just get to ride on as your throne.
Yep. You defeat XR53, chop off the top, hop on in, and you take some of the abilities as a cool flourish.
Yeah. And this also has bad luck prevention on it, if I recall.
This will be our first master mode mount that does come with bad luck protection.
That's pretty awesome. So there you go, folks. A new master mode mount for you to work towards. It's so good. I love the throne that's built into the top of the boss itself. Just great. I don't know that XR53 loves it, but it won't be alive to complain about it. So I guess
XR53 can also just replicate another version if needed.
I guess true. It is a replicator, a defunct replicator. So I guess jury's still out on whether that's true. But all right, let's move on to PvP Season 8. Let's talk a little bit about what the theme is and what the rewards are.
Yeah, it is what it is for that mount.
Yeah, PvP Season 8 is going to be themed
It is what it
Champions
is.
of the Wild. The armor.
Also, yeah, you missed the story stuff. They basically said the same thing they did last time. There's no updates. They don't know when it's coming. They're missing critical pieces, and they'll let us know when they have it. But they don't have a date. They did show us like 10 seconds of a teaser of some new footage, but you'll probably be able to find that on YouTube at this point. So just go have a look for it.
On the track.
Awesome.
Nothing
And so
significant.
this will
like-
come with a bunch of different variants and stuff like we typically do. So let's look at that list, and you can kind of talk us through those.
Yeah, so we'll have our usual variants, what we call our alternate color schemes, and then the upgraded or prestige versions. So there'll be the Bestial Champions armor set, Bestial Warrior, armor set of the Wild, and armor set of the Beast. Some of these will be available from the track, others will be available from the PvP season vendor.
Awesome. Yeah. And those, of course, aren't the only rewards, right?
How obvious is it that these guys play Final Fantasy?
Right, the titles for this season will be the legacy title Way of the Warrior, the character title Stalker of the Prey, and then we'll also have our usual collection of season-related rewards such as the battle flags and our trophy decorations.
And then if I remember correctly, not only that, we actually replaced one of the existing normal rewards with something extra fun in this case, which we'll show in a second.
Yeah, we went a little further into the theming of the season, and we've released the Champion's Seat, the Throne of the Beast, and the Wild Warriors Respite decorations, replacing some of our previous season-related statues.
Just so good. Kind of a staged set of decos.
It's a throne that gets
To
slightly
fit nicely
nicer.
into your Rishi stronghold.
Different versions of it.
Yep.
Which you can do. And then the last thing we want
Wow.
to talk about is something that we've been considering for a season or two is we wanted to bring a little bit of more parity between PvP seasons and galactic seasons because they actually work a little bit different in functionality. And so quite simply what we're doing is right now, PvP seasons don't allow you to do cartel coin level purchases like galactic seasons do. And so simply put, we're just adding that functionality into PvP seasons, which galactic seasons have currently. And we're doing that for two reasons. Number one, very simply, just to bring parity between those since they're both seasonal systems. And so we want them to work simply the same way. And the other thing is we had heard some feedback last season when we were making a few other adjustments along the lines of things like stopping like large stacks and stuff, where if someone came in late in the season, as an example, and they didn't have a large amount of credits, they could run into a situation where they could look and say, oh, I only have a few weeks left and I don't have the credits to do catch up. And so I might as well just not participate at all. And so this at least gives one other mechanism where they may have a way where they can at least get into the season and then still participate.
They're saying you can use your money to get through the PvP pass. That's basically what they're saying. They're being quite coy about it, but they're saying if you don't want to play this, you can just chuck your money at it.
You'll still have to join in queue for those.
Right. And so there is still definitely incentives that we want to drive towards.
Is that a cartel
actually
mention?
participating in the system itself, which is very important. All right. Nar Shaddaa Nightlife, everybody's favorite clickety-clack summer event.
Nar's back.
That's right. We have some very fun, stuff to talk about this time. So, when's it coming back, and how long is it going to run for?
Yeah, so Nar Nightlife will start on July 8th, and it's going to run for 6 weeks, ending on August 19th.
Awesome. Let's take a look at the new reward coming for Nar Nightlife.
Yeah, we have a really cool one this year.
That's usually true,
So
Lahel.
the highlight reward for Nar this year is going to be the Supernova helmet. The helmet may look a little familiar to some players, but it has that special Nar charm to it.
That's sure. It sure does. I cannot wait to just see people all over Nar Shaddaa, just all over the slot machines with this thing, just right away. It's going to be great. Very excited.
I still want to see the helmet on a Lothcat. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
This is no longer a Star Wars game, is it?
Spamming Supernova helmet on Lothcat. You heard it here first. So there's also a bunch of other rewards that are coming as well. So if you want to talk through those quick, and then of course how you get the Supernova helmet.
Yeah, so Supernova helmet isn't the only thing being added to Nar. As you can see on screen, we have new things to obtain from the Smuggler's Luck max bet, Kingpin's Bounty max bet, the Emperor's Grace and Emperor's Grace max bet machines, and then the Golden Certificate vendor. The one thing I will call out is the Supernova helmet that we've shown will come from the Emperor's Grace and Emperor's Grace max bet machines.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's the thing you certainly want to pay attention to is definitely hit those Emperor's machines, because that's how you get the, at least I would start there, because I really do think it's important that everybody around Nar Shaddaa is rocking the Supernova helmet, just to make it feel like Nar, you know? Everybody's just shiny.
And if you're not
No matter how good they ever make this event, no matter how much they change it, people are still gonna want Pazak even more.
Yes.
Can you tell people that we'll have images of them in the NAR article that'll go up later?
Sure, yeah. So Jackie just pointed out we'll make sure that we get images of all the new rewards when the NAR article goes up later, so people know what these all are. Yeah. Awesome. I think that's going to do it for us here, Bryant.
Good to see everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we'll make sure that we have details about all of the stuff that we've talked about, augments, new rewards, and all that stuff as it gets closer. Awesome. Thank you, Brian.
Okay. Nice. Whatever. Yeah. So excited. Woohoo. Can't wait to subscribe. Woohoo. Yay. Dynamic encounters and QRL improvements. Okay. Didn't they say that this was going to be a beefy stream? I'm going to hold them to that, you know. We're currently at like 35 minutes. 35 minutes of a stream. It's about 45 minutes if you include the startup time. Ha! I don't think that would ever happen, Andy. I mean, maybe for you, but I don't think they'd ever let me get close. It's probably a good move though, because if I was put in some kind of higher up position, a lot of people would be getting fired. Vegan beef stream. It's accurate. It's accurate. I think they did look a bit disappointed as well, you know? What's the point of dynamic encounters? It's just like a new bit of content you can do if you're bored of leveling via other means. The only good thing you can get from it is the hidden chain armor set, but it's a huge grind. The drop rate really sucks, so not everybody does it. But I guess there's like new achievements and stuff tied to it, and there's a couple of other rewards, like a couple of mounts you can get. So it's a very minor thing. It's not like a core element of the game or anything like that. It could have been much bigger. Like, they could have merged it with world boss summons and big group events, but they didn't. It's not really like that.
All right, I'm back.
Unfortunately.
Jackie, first name only.
And again, senior community manager, game
Yep.
director.
Yep.
All right, we got that.
Is that how we're doing this? Okay.
I hate it when people repeat their titles all the time. That's such a sucky thing to do.
Poster decoration. That is the current active Twitch drop. There was a little bit of snafu, but we're fine now. I did see that some people were having difficulty accruing time. I have seen that if you log out of Twitch and then back in, then you can see the progress being made. So go ahead and do that if you haven't yet.
Is that why you told me to talk slower?
Like just a little bit. 0.5. But yeah, as a reminder, this Twitch drop is active until May 22nd. So if you don't accrue enough time when our stream is over, there's a lot of lovely streamers that will be streaming SWTOR content that you can watch as well.
I will try to talk slower.
All
It's
right.
never worked in my life.
Yeah, no, I've mentioned it about 27 times today. No,
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
All right. So dynamic encounters. What even is the dynamic encounter? So we introduced them long time in 7.6. What they are is basically, think of them like tiny adventures that are spread around the planets that they inhabit, kind of meant to breathe life into them, we give new fun ways to kind of interact with the planet where they are.
Yeah, like when you're looking out into the horizon, like there's something happening over there.
There's cool stuff over there.
What is happening?
What
They give
is it?
rewards for it.
I
when
should
you
go
complete
check it
them.
out.
Yeah.
And so we introduced them for the first time on Hoth, Tatooine, along with Hidden Chain Invasions. Hedda Cole just has to be a jerk, is the way that I think of them.
Freaking havoc everywhere.
Yeah, across the galaxy. And so in 7.7, that number is relevant. We're introducing dynamic encounters across 7 new planets. Those 7 planets are the starter planets, the capital planets in Ilum, which is Tython, Korriban, Hutta, and Ord Mantell. The starter planets, Coruscant, Dromakas, the capital worlds, and Ilum. So this video is going to roll while I just explain effectively some scale, and then we'll give you some examples. So
They always miss such good opportunities. Like, if they'd have just waited, kept all of these dynamic encountered planets ready and bundled together for one update, they could literally get away with calling it a small content update. Like back when they released Galactic Starfighter and that kind of thing, and be like, oh, hey, here's game update dynamic encounters. Come play dynamic encounters on like 30 different planets, which we've pre-prepared for you and pre-tested, and they all work smooth and they're all freaking brilliant. But instead you drip fed as them in this, oh man, like I'm glad that they're putting them on these planets, but it just feels like a little bit too little too late, you know? Like, I was never even really interested in the first place, to be fair, but come on, like, you miss these golden opportunities so freaking often. Like, why are you so eager to put content out? Like, if you have this golden opportunity to package it together and call it a content update, like, that's worth subscribing for. Like, come on. Do I need to run this game for you? Are you guys struggling? Because you could just step down. You could. Like, let the fans take over. I feel like we do a good job.
planets to just really breathe new life into them. This is another great example.
Sometimes you need to hijack a walker.
Yeah, on Ord Mantell, nothing says fun when you're to kind of, I feel like invoking the feeling of a trooper is, I've had fun shooting a large cannon, but there is no larger cannon than a walker. I mean, there might be larger cannons, I guess, but this really feels like a large cannon.
I mean, a Death Star, but you know.
I mean, true. Yeah. And so,
yeah, and what we've seen previous, like in that video, they're all combat based, but there is a variety of dynamic encounters. Like I know in previous ones, like in Hoth, you carry a little taunfaun up a hill.
There is a great one that is on Korriban.
That's really funny, Andy.
One of my favorite ones that I remember when we did our internal playtest that is non-combat or combat, your choice, that I played it like 3 times in a row. I just kept waiting for it to come back because I had so much fun with it. Yes, there are plenty of them that are both combat or non-combat. Again, and this is kind of just like, we use this as an example in the 7.6 live stream for those of you that weren't here, which is like you go around and like you help promote a Cantina band.
Yeah, that one's
like,
a lot of fun.
There's that kind of stuff, right? And yeah, and so yeah, what was it? What are they?
Double sunburns.
Double sunburns. Double sunburns. Yeah. God, that is such a good band name. That's so much better than any fake band name I've ever made up on this live stream.
In high school.
In high school, yeah, of course. And of course, the question.
Exa, I completely agree with that.
But what do I get for doing these dynamic encounters other than fun, which should be the goal of a video game? Well, there's plenty of rewards. And so these are just a host of examples. And as you can see, we've had the planet
decorations.
They are, and that's because what you'll find is when you play a lot of the dynamic encounters around a lot of the planets, a lot of them will give you decos for rewards.
You want me to check my DMs?
And a lot
I'll
of
check
will
them soon.
be
I'll check them soon.
Inside of the area where you've played them is where you might find them. Think of like before when you did the memes abound.
Why are you so cute?
The loft cat. There was literally a Reddit thread this morning where someone was talking about the loft cat and showing pictures of it. So like it's still in prominence months later how much people love the loft kitten that they've received.
Yeah, the fan art.
Yeah.
So good.
But that's not all, right? Because if you recall, you probably do because you work here. When we did in 7.6, we had the meta achievement for dynamic encounters on Hoth and Tatooine, which was earned by doing a number of dynamic encounters across the entire planet, and then you earned a mount. Which,
Not just any type of mount.
that's right, an exclusive mount to that planet. And so what we're doing is, and so hold tight for a few videos. First up, for the starter planets, there is a new exclusive mount to the starter planets with 4 different colorways. So basically, one color for Hutta, one color for Ord Mantell, etc., across all 4 planets.
I can
And
smell a
components
cartel market
underneath
mention coming.
so strap in for doing dynamic encounters across each of the planets to get all 4 of the colorways. And then, but wait, the capital planets, there is a unique one for Dromancons, a unique one for Coruscant. They're similar but different, and a unique one for it. You can see
Speaking
them
of
here.
the
If they're
loft,
similar
oh,
but
wait,
different, then they're not
How did
unique.
it sneak up there? And so these are the mounts that you can see here. Again, these are for Dro, Coruscant, and Ilum. So again, in total, that is 7 different mounts you can collect by doing the meta mount achievement across all of those 7 planets in 7.77s. Right? I don't know if I said 7 times. I wasn't counting.
777. Narshada Nightlife. Go, baby.
And look, all right?
You get another little baby that you can put on the new mount. that you're
Cuteness
gonna
is
obtain.
subjective.
Look at that hangry
And
baby.
I like horror, and so I think this is cuter than the Loft Kitten. You can argue with me, but it's just a little guy. Ashley, right? You know? And so I want this.
Andy,
I
don't catch me off guard like
I can't
that.
tell you where you get this because I think it's important that you figure it out on your own. My guess would be Ilum, but you do. But I think
The pet
you
ain't
should try
even
to
high
get your
res.
own
You're right.
little guy.
Look at it. It's a low
Yeah.
poly mess.
Yeah.
Also another
The
note,
teeth
like, they
don't
did
even
show
move.
Images for the decorations,
Right.
but
I bet
there's gonna
those teeth are
there's
just
gonna be an
PNG
article that
images.
comes out closer to launch, and we're gonna have like all the.
I bet they're
images
flat
about the
surface,
There's
2D
just-
images.
There's so many dynamic encounters across 7 planets. There's so many achievements and so many rewards to get. There's a reason this. Why are you holding up a hand? 9 what?
total planets.
Oh yes, Rich. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that is a good call out. Technically speaking, there's now dynamic encounters across 9 planets, right? We've now expanded it by adding this 7, and there's technically kind of more because the
Hidden chain.
the hidden chain invasions actually happen across even more planets than that, like Nar Shaddaa, etc. And so dynamic encounters are just they are everywhere now. They're just all up in
Yeah.
they're all up in your galaxy.
And they're a lot of fun.
And so then the next part of this is getting around. If you want to get around the galaxy to these dynamic encounters and to really just your game. And this kind of goes hand in hand with one of the things that I mentioned early when Ashley was here, is we want to continue to make improvements to how players interact with the game. And some of this, of course, is focusing on players that are new and coming back into the game, but also all of you that play this game every day. What you do is interact with navigating through all of your missions and dynamic encounters. And so the world map is how you do that in a lot of cases. And so let's talk about kind of 3 components to this. The main change here is that we've obviously added an accordion menu to the left side of the screen. Fun fact, I spell accordion wrong every single time. And so there's 3 pieces. The legend is basically just we've nested what was kind of filter, magnifying glass, and some of those existing pieces. They're kind of now nested under the legend. Quick travel is effectively allowing you to think of when you would quick travel before and it would pop up your map and filter it. It kind of does that along with having a selectable list. This is really helpful in instances where like you would have kind of a mission NPC or something over top of something you were trying to click on your map to try to travel to something, or you just know, you're already looking at your map and you're like, I need to go to Nemro's Palace. I already know that. You could just click it from there and travel to it. But I think the coolest one of all of this, the new one, is the encounters list. Yeah. So this just shows you every dynamic encounter that's available in your area. You can click that. Now it will track it, and it will breadcrumb you to where that dynamic encounter is. And where this is really, really helpful and really cool is on those planets that have a lot of nested areas or like areas at different elevations. Coruscant especially is really kind of egregious in this way, where it can be difficult to kind of figure out like, where is that room that I see this dynamic counter for? Well, you just go, cool, I'm trying to get to, Senate battle, and you click it. I just made that up. That's probably not a real one. But you click it, and it will help you kind of breadcrumb your way over to that dynamic encounter.
Yeah, breadcrumbs are, I don't know if everyone knows what a breadcrumb is, but like a map note, just like an indicator of direction is really what that is.
So you would click that, and then what it would do is it would highlight, hey, in that doorway is where Senate battle, the dynamic encounter is. And then when you walk through that doorway, it would go, look, there it is on the map after you walk through that doorway.
Yep.
So it kind of help you, that's a good point, help you navigationally get to the thing that you've clicked through. So a lot of cool improvements there.
Combat updates.
Speaking of things that we're doing for players that especially are either new or inexperienced, frankly, or like me that are just lazy when they're leveling through the experience of the game. Here is what the goal of the combat updates were. And I'm going to read this backwards because I think that's actually the way I probably should. I should have just written it this way instead of just reading it backwards because I wrote this slide. We want players to have a fantasy fulfilling, fun, and underlined. I guess I could have also underlined it. I'm learning that I could have just written this slide differently as we're reading it for the third time. Viable.
Oh god, this is to do with the combat.
For the things that we do.
This is going to be really good or really bad.
Inside of your discipline.
Probably going to be bad.
How are we going to do that? We're going to adjust 4 things. The default talent choices we make within your discipline, the levels that you acquire abilities, adjust what your default discipline is sometimes. And so it's a little bit of context is like when you pick your class, pick your combat style, we also pick what discipline you are by default. And so we might adjust what that is. And then other changes that might make sense. And I can give you an example of what that might look like as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, me? That's not what we did in the practice friends. Let's go. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to ask you. I'm going to give you one anyway. So let me give you a problem. So Guardians and Juggernauts. So look back at like the Chlor Slug dynamic encounter we just showed you, right? Like you're fighting lots of non-elite, very simple, weak enemies. Sorry, Chlor Slug, I didn't mean to call you weak.
But they're grouped. They're grouped together.
Exactly. Yeah. They're grouped, weak enemies. And so the problem
I cannot believe they're talking about the difficulty of killing claw slugs. Do you know how easy it is to kill a claw slug? You walk up to it, you whack it twice with your basic ability, and it's dead. And it's dead. But oh no, it's so difficult that the game director decided that because he's lazy during leveling, I need my AoE ability at level 1 or whatever. What is this? Yeah, of course, like, who cares? It's such a non-issue, but it's funny at the same time. It's just funny to see the type of updates. What's this? You can use sweeping slash, granted at level 7. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. No one even uses those abilities. No one even uses those things. Guarantee you, somebody has force sweep or smash on their hotbar, they're using that. That's definitely what they're using. It looks cooler. It feels cooler. It is just better. Just better. What is this? This isn't a combat update. This is definitely a quality of life thing, but even then it's really teetering. It's really teetering. This is such a non-issue. And it's such a nothing burger.
Kind of stressing about just seeing the one example. We will provide more information for you.
That's a super good call out. Because the one thing that I really want to stress, because I can't see chat, so I want to make sure that no one's freaking out about this, is this is about default choices, right? I'm not saying that, like, again, you getting a spammable ability at level 7 helps everybody, right? So that's not just about things that are going to be defaultly helpful for you. I don't think default is a word, but that are going to help you by default. But if you're someone who's played this game every day for 14 years and you go, you're not the boss of me, I don't need you to make a default choice for me, well, then don't worry about it, right? Like, you just make a different choice and move on with your day. I think what we discovered is that we are the boss of us, and we might have made some not ideal choices in some cases about what some of those things were that we were granting players by default through the leveling experience. And so we kind of did a re-audit of that and are readjusting some of those things just to make that experience a bit better through some of these classes. And so these are the ones that we're changing in 7.7. It's going to be Juggernaut and Guardian, Marauder, Sentinel, Sniper, Gunslinger, Assassin, Shadow. The main one that I want to call out here is we're actually changing what the default discipline is that we're going to give players for Assassin and Shadow. And then anything that is not listed here, we're going to continue this audit and make the rest of those changes for 7.7.1. Ideally is when we're targeting that.
Yeah, again, like, this is really a nothing issue. Like, if it doesn't affect your character at max level, then we don't care. Then, quite frankly, we don't care. The only thing that matters is how your character behaves at level 80 and not at level 1. I mean, fair enough for the new players, whatever. This is what it is. This is like a nothing beggar, though. They could have not done this and the game would have been absolutely, totally fine. Yeah, this is more fluff.
Yeah.
And,
This is their beefy live stream, guys. Get ready for a super beefy live stream where we change the abilities that you get at level 7. Game changing.
this one's all you.
This one's a little nuanced. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain it very cleanly. Those of you who aren't in guilds, don't have crazy sprinter, you can just stop paying attention for about 2 minutes. But I'm gonna try to explain this very cleanly. Basically, we isolated a problem with how class movement abilities interacted with sprint out of combat. Short version, slightly longer version. For those of you that had faster than normal sprint, notably Sprinter 1, 2, and 3 from the guild perk, what we found was, in some cases, you might activate a class ability out of combat, and it might do little or nothing. Let me give you a fictional example of how this would work. Let's say you had Sprinter 3, and it was giving...
Okay, this is again another non-issue. This is a bug. They're talking about a bug, and they fixed it. Okay, cool.
45% faster. Our game went, hey, 50's higher than 45, do nothing. Right? That's how it works today. Instead, starting in 7.7, we're going to go, hey, 50% is from Sprinter, 45% is from a class ability. You know what we should do?
Add them together.
Right. Now you'll move at 95% movement speed.
Okay. So it looks like that they just discovered basic math. So I guess that's good. That's a good revelation to come across. I'm glad that they were able to come to this revelation.
Ability that is adding speed, the one single highest thing that is reducing speed, and put them all together. Nothing in here is added that includes mounts, right? So mounts are not included. Something like rocket boost that counts as a mount is not included, and none of this counts in combat. So PvPers don't sweat any of this stuff. None of this, but like once someone gets tagged and is in combat, movement speed here is not impacted. Effectively, we've made these combat values, or made these values out of combat additive, is what that means.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Should see it active in what, PTS?
On PTS,
as
yep.
well.
Yep. So definitely check.
You're
it.
putting this on the
run into a bunch of
PTS?
Yep. But just in case you have.
You think people are gonna pay you to test how fast they can sprint? Ah, my god.
That is truly it for me.
Yep.
I'm gonna go over there, and we're gonna swap places with Brad.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, Jackie.
Bye.
Yeah, the PTS is only for subscribers, making it a paid feature. There are some people that would argue that access to the PTS is free with your your subscription, rather. But keep in mind, if you pay for anything at all and something comes with it, then you also paid for that thing. Nothing is ever free in life. Nothing is ever free. So they just committed an entire segment to absolutely nothing. So we just sat here for nearly 30 minutes listening to them talk about very minor fluff. You do need a prescription to play this game. Don't make me laugh. Oh, guys, get ready. It's the cartel market guy.
And I'm not. I'm Brad Lewis, the art director for Star Wars The Old Republic, and welcome to the Old Republic Shopping Network.
That's right.
Where we're going to feature some fabulous prizes.
We need a sweet ticker on the bottom. I don't know what it would display.
Numbers?
Don't worry, Eric, I've got a ticker for you.
We just put numbers there?
This is your show. I don't know what
we're talking about either.
I don't even know I'm here.
But anyway, let's talk about what's coming to the cartel market and how things are going on the character modernization front. Because we have some
cartel market.
Oh, look what's still available, though.
That is true. This is still available. Oh, are we going to remember the date? Hang on. We won't. No, wait. Don't tell us. Don't say it. Don't say it. No. Let's see if we can remember. Let's wait. Hang on.
June.
We did. It's important. We rehearsed this twice, and they told us both times, and we'll see if we remember.
So earlier they couldn't do basic math, and now they can't do dates.
Edition bundle for the JTF offering, and this has a really fun mount. It's got a pet platform, which is apparently popular. It's got firing cannons, animated dashboard, a speed boost with VFX thrusters.
And sound effects.
And a fantastic sound package that you just really got to hear.
Usable level 1.
That's right.
And I feel like we need like a PowerPoint just for this thing.
It's literally a tin can with the TIE fighter noise on it. That's it. And by the way, this bundle is $100. $100. And this is the third one that they've released. So if you want all of these bundles, that's $300. But, guys, at least you'll have a year and a half of subscription so you can play the delayed story at some point. Maybe you'll need a year and a half subscription to get there.
Which is available until June 17th? Oh, I did it! Yeah. Did you have a guess? Just say June 17th now. Just be like, that I knew it was
I guess June 17, obviously, because that was the right answer.
Yeah. The thing that's nice about the bundle is that, basically just on the coins and subtime alone, it's worth the value. And then you get also an amazing mount, usable at level 1, awesome perks out of it, plus dies. It's a really great dollar value regardless. And
it is. And it was a lot of fun to build because it's been a fun one.
Yeah, it's great. So always love those bundles. But let's talk about the awesome stuff that's coming in 7.7. Some really, really awesome Andor-inspired stuff.
You know, Eric, if you're like me, and I know I am, I'm going to love walking around in this...
You are like you. I have always thought that about you.
This Saw Gerrera-inspired outfit. I think we just need to slow things down here a little bit.
We do. Let's slow it down a little bit.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
That's done.
Saw Gerrera outfit, it's fantastic. Character team really knocked this one out of the park. I'm really looking forward to seeing what players do with this one.
Yeah, no, this one is so good.
Yeah,
I absolutely.
You can start your own insurgency on
that. You really could. This, I will say though, this truly might be one of my favorite armor sets your team's ever built.
It really is nice. This one has turned out super nice. This has very heavily player requested thigh-high boots. Which are dyeable.
No, don't like it. And here's the thing.
You know, you're not Fred.
We talked about. I know.
I don't know if you could pull that off.
I know, right? We also talked about this. I was going to make a request of you, but you already fulfilled that request.
What was that?
Is that I'm not a cape guy. I don't like capes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So could I have this without a cape?
Yeah, see the little asterisk down there?
I didn't bring my glasses.
It says includes no cape version.
That's right. So players that buy this will get they will get this, and it will come with 2 chess pieces.
That's right.
I almost said a chestless, and that doesn't make any sense. A version with cape and version without cape.
That is right. Yeah. This will both include the caped version and the non-caped version for you to mix and match as you choose.
You've said cape 7 times.
Have I said it 7 times? Are you counting?
So we can move on.
We did it. All right. Next slide.
What about the cape on that line?
Oh, now we did it 8.
Oh, well, here's another player requested thing.
Yeah.
The Manon mini sub was a taxi on Manon that players rightfully noticed. We don't have a player mount
Mount
version
forward,
of
right.
it. So here it is. It is slightly different in that the canopy is open. So if you drove this into the water, you would probably drown.
Yeah.
But everywhere else is probably fine.
Unless you can swim. Can Nautilus swim? Can they breathe underwater? I swim is a silly question. I think most people can swim. Yeah. So
Do we have water in our game?
no.
This
So,
is the
yeah,
game
so this is nice
director,
because
by
it
the
was-
way, asking all these questions about Star Wars. That's the game director for a Star Wars game.
And make this a viable player mount.
Right, which is nice because this segues nicely into our next bundle as well, which is this overlaps really well with player requested
Oh, that's
area,
right.
Nar Shaddaa Nightlife, which is again is coming back as we talked about earlier, and then
Very
just we're not going to read all of this because
There's nothing on the screen. Oh, now there is. Now there is. Okay.
which is just this enormous bundle of
There are
decorations.
literally tens of things in here.
There are a lot. There are definitely tens of things. We still didn't do a full count. We've made this joke twice already, and I still don't think we counted how many things are in
I
here.
don't want to count that.
I'm
many
not going to
things.
either.
Leave your points in chat if you can count it up before I.
Oh, right. Special prize in chat for anybody who can count this up.
Oh, now we got to do a prize.
No, ignore that. I don't have any authority.
I mean, I don't know. That's their problem.
SWTOR devs have to ask the chat to count for them because they still can't do basic math. Caught in 4K.
Simply what this is, right? This is a bunch of decos that are Nar Shaddaa themed,
Correct.
that are all existing in game in the cartel market that you have to buy disparately in other forms, either onesie twosie kind of across the
Right.
board. And so we wanted to repackage them and take the lessons that we learned from remote trading outposts, which was we really want to have good value in the deco bundles that we have, right?
That's right.
And so if I remember correctly, this is like nearly 10K worth of cartel coin worth of value
Right.
for 2,500 cartel coins in a bundle.
Right.
So it's a big, meaty bundle of decos.
Right. We've noticed a lot of player sentiment where we need to add more decos, add more value to deco bundles. So this is our offering for this 7.7 release of a giant amount of decos. In that, we've never offered this many decos in a bundle before.
Yeah. And as you'll be able to see here, I mean, this is basically
Well, the decorations
one,
should be
at
cheap
most
anyways.
two of
Each one.
each one of
They're just literally decorations. That's it. They shouldn't be gate kept behind the wallet.
Right.
like this is not practical, but that's the fun of your deck. You do whatever you want in your stronghold.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't really have interest in the decos either, to be honest.
Do whatever you want.
you're not the boss of them.
No.
Let them make it's
Yeah.
up to them.
Yeah, you don't want to look at my stronghold. It's not practical. But the nice thing, and I'd said this before, the thing that I like about doing bundles like that, right, is like a lot of, I think Nar Shaddaa might be our most owned stronghold. They're pretty close.
yes.
And so like, this is a nice way where someone can buy one big thematic bundle and then be able to decorate so much of their stronghold that's thematic without pressure.
What is the most owned stronghold? You just skimmed over a really interesting statistic. You just said that Nar Shaddaa is nearly the most owned stronghold. What is the most owned stronghold? That's actually kind of interesting. Why wouldn't you talk more about that?
Speaking of whatever you want.
Let's talk about character modernization. Yep. So let's talk about this as kind of just like a setup, and then we'll talk about the specifics. So there's 3 sets of things that we're doing.
Yeah,
on
all
the
right,
character
Exile.
modernization front and 7.7. We're making some continued updates to definition changes. These are some things we've kind of talked about a little bit in the past. But we're going to give you some specifics. We have improvements coming to the chest textures as well. And then something I don't remember if we had. I feel like nostalgia tells me that I've talked about this on a live stream before. We have? Great. We have talked about this before. Thank you,
Good,
Jackie.
then we can talk about it today.
Great. Otherwise, we would have been in so much trouble because it's already on the slide. I don't even know what we do. We're live. We're going to talk about updates to the preview window and some parity we're bringing to game lighting. So let's hit those one by one. Definition changes. What are we doing about definition changes in 7.7?
So, in order to adhere to the modernization effort that we have to bring the fidelity level up to other NPCs levels with your player character, but still respect the fact that we want your character that you're used to look the way you prefer it to, we are eliminating a lot of the programmatic smoothing that we had applied to the updated texture sets. And we are bringing that back into artist control to more strategically define where those sharpenings and smoothings are located. We're really happy with where this is now, and we hope that you will be too. This will be an ongoing effort. We are likely never
Yeah, they're not doing themselves any favors with the way they've put the aspect ratio.
characters into the modern era respective of people's opinions and preferences as to what the way they should look.
Yeah. Because again, this, and we had talked about this, I think, kind of after our first wave of this, is kind of where we had leaned in the first place was a very programmatic stroke of this, right? So it's like, it has to be, it's one or all, right? And now we're kind of pulling back from that, so artists can kind of have a more direct touch on where is it wrinkly, where is it not wrinkly.
Right,
These are my
right.
very technical terms that I'm using as an artist.
That's very technical. You're right on.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
on.
Yep. Next up, just texture improvement. So, and again, just this is my context, so correct me if I say something that's incorrect, but when we made the original set of updates to species on modernization, in a way, Chiss almost won.
Sophie, they already talked about the story. They basically said the same thing as last time. It's not ready. They don't have the pieces they need, and they'll let us know when they have it. They did show us like another 10-second teaser, which I won't spoil for you, so I'm sure that they'll release that on YouTube soon. Literally like 10 seconds of something. But again, I won't spoil it for you.
Did that out a bit, and we've gone through and spent a lot of time trying to iron out a lot of discrepancies and inconsistencies with those texture sets and those game model assets.
Yep. Yeah. So here's some of the cleanup we've done with which is I'm very excited for this as someone who my personal main has been a Chiss since day one, so looks great. Excited for Chiss.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Love it. Last one. I know this is one you're very personally excited about, and not that you're not excited about all of this, but
Why would he be excited for Eric? What?
it parity between the preview window and the video game people play.
Right.
The live world outside of it. What does that mean, and why is that important?
The reason it was a problem before, the virtual stages we use for the preview window and the targeting window and the character modernization, or not modernization, customization screens.
Yeah,
there's a
so,
lot of terms.
so appearance designer, your character portrait, and the live game do not all look different than what the preview window does.
Correct.
I tire of this beating around the bush. Why can't they just say that something was bugged? Why can't they just say it was broken and now they fixed it? It really bugs me that they have to pussyfoot around all of this fluff. Oh, we've updated all of these things and made... No, you fixed a bug. It wasn't working as intended. Clearly that's not accurate. So it was a bug. Just say it was a freaking bug, man.
Consistency between the preview window stages and the actual game so that it's a better representation of what you're about to equip or purchase.
Right. Yeah. So, and especially this is important for, to your point, armor sets that have reflective components.
Correct.
Dies, either dies equipped on reflective pieces or specular dies, right? In those components, it's especially where it's the most important, because what we don't want you to do is...
You're not even wrong. They do want to stretch the airtime of the stream. Like, literally, just go, oh yeah, guys, we fixed the preview window. Now when you preview stuff, it actually looks like the way it's meant to look. Job done. Job done. Next thing.
Be misleading in what you see is what you get,
right?
Kind of situation.
And then we called it out on the first slide. We don't actually have a slide dedicated to it, but the other thing we've talked about is kind of parity across the game. And so the art and engineering teams have also done a lot of work on bringing graphical parity between NPCs, your player character, and other player characters as well. I mean, that's coming in 7.7 as well.
Right.
So.
The three components of that are your player character that you yourself view, other player characters, and NPCs. And those were all rendered slightly different due to performance reasons that we have to have in our game. But the engineering team and the art team have really been spending a lot of work bringing those consistency levels up so that the entire visual experience is more consistent and there's not a big jarring difference between someone with the exact same settings over here and you on screen.
Right. Yep.
Did you mention something about the character portrait too?
Yeah. Yeah. That's in part of the preview window changes that Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, and so what's the timeline for these? So all the stuff we just talked about, all of it will be available on PTS, which again, we'll talk PTS timing on the last slide, but it's very soon. So you'll be able to see all of that. Let us know what you think. Let us know of any bugs that you see or any feedback that you still have, because again, all this is just going to continue to be an ongoing process.
Right.
Yep. We're continuing to work on modernization. As we've talked about since the very beginning of this, the thing that's important for us, I think, is that we want to make sure that we lock this down, get to a place that we feel comfortable with it, we feel like you're comfortable with it, before we move on to additional species, because we are going to be working on additional species.
That's right.
Yeah.
We don't know which one next.
I mean, We do know which one.
Yeah,
We're just
we know.
we're
I'm not going to tell. I'm not even going to tell it.
Yeah.
I can tell him.
Keith says he knows.
Yeah. We just don't let him near microphone.
Right.
So that's that. So let's recap. That's
A wild
it's a meaty
Keith
stream.
appeared.
I don't know what our timestamp is at.
You don't have a watch.
I don't.
24.
What? Oh, 124? Well, that's more than an hour, so you should have gotten your Drum and Cost reward by now.
Yeah.
Let's recap Game Update 7.7 Dynamic Worlds. Galactic Threads, Masters Enigma Story Update. So
Was
that's,
this it?
Once again, as soon as we have those pieces, we will come back to you and let you know exactly what timelines we have and when. We have the Ares window that's coming, along with mission log updates that are coming alongside of it. Master Mode XR53, along with new augments. Again, look for details on all that stuff, all coming there. PvP Season 8, Nar Shaddaa Nightlife is coming back. New dynamic encounters are coming across 7 planets, hence it wasn't actually consistent with 7.7, but I guess it worked out nicely that we did.
It's more.
It's now a total of 9, yeah. Tons of quality of life updates. Sorry, I've been talking for an hour and a half across the whole game. We have new cartel market items.
That's right.
Very excited about a lot of that stuff. And then the character modernization updates that we just talked about as well. So just so much exciting stuff.
Listen, do you smell that?
I don't think you listen with your nose.
That is the smell of one more thing.
Did I miss something on another stream?
I think you did because there's a gap down there.
Oh, there is a spot missing at the bottom. Did we actually leave a spot for the bunny? That'd be funny if we did that.
There's a PowerPoint. I don't run.
That'd be cute. What kind of thing would we be missing?
How about we look at the next slide?
I guess so. So we've heard that players like to customize their characters.
I think it happens.
So
Okay. Where is this going?
The thing that we took a look at is what if I think greatly would be a fair adjective here, expanded the color customization, skin tone options that players had across alien species.
I think that's a good way to describe it.
Oh, damn.
There were a few before, you could say it that way, and now there are a great many.
There are a great many.
Andy.
So effectively, you can look at this video, and I'll talk over this video
with words.
Of
Hell
words.
yeah. Okay.
For I think it's 6 or 7 alien species. You'll see on the next slide.
Right.
We have added a great many skin color options, many of which are highly requested, like purple Twi'lek, which you just saw us click past.
Some of them are great.
Some of them are great. Yeah. So if we want to go to the next slide, we can see exactly what the specifics are. Right. So we have now added. You can see the numbers. But
What?
Cathar, Chist, Miri Allen, Nautilin, Sith Purebloods, Togruta, and Twi'lek have now each received
a great many.
It's also 7.
Really?
It's also 7.
There's also 7.
Not 7 options, 7 species.
Jesus Christ, there was 7. How did we get so many 7s in this update? I wish that I could say we planned that. We did.
Oh,
These
yeah,
7
Zabrak isn't
species
on there.
Have received many customizations, and the caveat that I will call out, and this is not a bad caveat. Basically, as long as you own access to this species,
right.
You have access to all of the skin colors that have been added, period. So once 7.7's out, feel free to just go make a blue Cathar or a purple Twi'lek.
Enjoy all the myriad new colors we have offerings in the whatever window it is.
Yeah, they are vast. So, so let's go back to the actual recap, which is
another bullet point.
We did now add one more bullet point. So I won't go through the whole thing again because it's the same thing, except
we keep talking.
New customization options. The one thing, 2 things that are not on the slide that I will mention. PTS. When can I check these things out? So our plan for PTS is that PTS will be live either today or tomorrow, as far as we can tell, barring any hiccups. It should be live very soon. The only things that will not be live on PTS are the things that are normally not on PTS, so you won't be able to see any of the story, any of the seasonal content.
I'm hoping that they've added a charcoal Sith Pureblood, because King Adas and some other Purebloods in Tor history have actually had closer to a darker, more crispier charcoal skin color. And I would actually like to have that on some of my Purebloods. I think that would look really fucking horrific, to be honest. But yeah, like that was clearly by far the best thing that they could have spoken about. New colors for alien races and stuff. That's actually really freaking cool. Not gonna lie, that's a W feature. We'll take that. That's pretty cool. I would like to see it with Zabraks as well, though. Definitely like to see it with Zabraks.
That's been fun.
It was fun. That was 7.7.
Thank you for joining me in the stream. I feel like you really brought a lot to the table. Thanks everybody.
Thanks, Brad. Oh my god. We need like one more 7 in here. Do we have 7 people on the stream?
If we keep saying 7, that's just going to keep adding 7.
Ashley's counting for me.
There's only 6 people.
God dang
Well,
it.
there was 7 with Brian.
Oh, that's true. We did it. 7 people on the stream. I'm gonna go play the lottery. Everyone play the lottery. Everyone play 7. We'll all split it together. I don't. 7's. And you know, it's not like the lottery is one number. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I don't think you
I've been in this chair too long. Thank you all for joining us for the 7.7 live stream. I hope you're excited as we are about this game update. This one is this is a big, juicy one. This is one of the longest streams I feel like we've had because there's just so much content in it. So we hope you're excited as we are. Please let us know your feedback.
So much content in it. Just such a big, beefy stream. Ah, come on.
Everybody that helped host this beautiful stream. And everybody on the SWTOR team who is working on building this massive beast, who might be at their desks watching us or
really
not and working on it. Yeah, couldn't happen without them. Thank you all. Have a good one.
Oh my god. Jesus H. Christ. Jesus H. Christ. I cannot believe that they waited until the very end to give us that little thing on the alien species. Wow. That's just shocking, that is. Really. Hey, I appreciate the follows, the subscriptions. I appreciate the subscription on Twitch effect. I see that coming up there. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. That's mega. That's mega. Thank you very much. Do you know what? Maybe I could have delivered a rant to you. This game is cooked. Peter Parker says in a super chat. Ah, yeah, it kind of is, right? It kind of is. Appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you guys supporting. That's awesome. Thank you. Did you see the Discord DMs? Not just yet. I did not. No. But as I say, I don't think... Well, I could have done a rant for you, but I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm just gonna leave it because they're probably gonna do another stream, and that's probably gonna be a rant as well if they don't have the story by then. So let's minimize it for now because what a shit show, right? What a shit show. Just a bunch of fluff. No story up there. Abysmal. That is honestly a bit... They could have done something else in the meantime, using the KOTOR dialogue shit. I don't get why they haven't... They've had over a year now to cook something else and get something else ready. It makes no sense to me. And then they've had all of this spare time, because obviously they can't release the story content, so what have they been doing in their spare time? They've been making the errors window. Pointless feature. Pointless feature. Dynamic encounters on starter planets. I think we fell into the rant, didn't we? I think it just kind of happened naturally. Yeah, the dynamic encounters... It's a W for the new players, but the veteran players, the people that are already here, the people that are actually waiting for new content, we don't care about dynamic encounters. They're not meaningful, they're not impactful, they hold no stakes to the player character, there's no meaningful endgame reward there for you to grind, and don't you dare say tech fragments to me, because 10 tech fragments for one dynamic encounter is not enough in any capacity, and is absolutely laughable from any development. Absolutely ridiculous. Look. They seriously need to start knuckling down. They need to knuckle down, work on solid game features that people actually want. This thing with the alien colour, the skin colour, like, come on. Come on. That's players have been wanting that for years, and then you just give it to us? Do more of that. Do more of that. Look at the things that we're asking you for, and do that. Nobody asked for an errors window. People are asking for replayable original chapters. People are asking for difficulty sliders. People want the game to be harder. They don't want it to be easy. Stop making it easier. Stop accommodating to this weird new player experience where you need to level quickly and power through mobs quickly. You don't necessarily need to do that. Part of the experience of being an acolyte on Korriban is that you are an acolyte. You are arriving maybe as a slave, maybe as a prodigy. Maybe you're weak as fuck. If you're role-playing but you're just slamming through content, that's weird, man. Like, you're an acolyte. You're meant to be learning and training, and then you grow, your character progresses, you become more powerful. and then you ruffle stomp everything. Literally, they improved the difficulty for you on Korriban so that you can go there and use AoEs on them. Who cares? You hit them twice with Saber Strike. You literally hit them twice with Saber Strike, once in some cases, and the Claw Slug is dead. There's no concern. If you die to a Claw Slug on Korriban, you should uninstall the game. You should probably quit gaming, like, period. Like a child of, like, very young age can figure out how to kill a Claw Slug in this game. It's not a difficult thing to do, and trying to difficulty tune that is just honestly weird from a development standpoint. It's such a nothing thing to do. The errors window, why are you giving people a synopsis of the expansions when it already exists in the game? It already exists in the game. You go to the mission console, it tells you which expansions you have access to, because if you've already played it, then you can't play the ones before it, right? If you've started Shadow of Revan, typically you can't go back and start the others. Typically. That might be more true for like Kotvi and Kurtet, that kind of thing. It's besides the point. What I'm saying is you go to the missions console, and it's all right there. This errors window is just a shortcut to the missions console. That's all it is. If it doesn't give you your definitive decisions that you've been making throughout your story, like, I don't know, did you romance Maker in Chapter 1? Did you romance Watcher 2 in the Imperial Age? You know, who did you speak to? Who did you interact with? Who did you influence? Who was good? Who was bad? All of that shit is actually really important. Imagine how many people would log back into the game if they could actually recap properly what they had done in the past, beyond creating just a new character, because that's typically what people do. They jump back in, they make a new character, refresh through all the stuff. But if you could just log in to that level 80 character that you had from last year and just get all the decisions that you made and be like, oh yeah, I chose to side with that person in the chapter, then that thing happened, then this thing happened, just a really good catch-up, that would have been better. But there was no decision making inside of the errors window. That makes no sense. Why would you even put it there? Why would you even put it there? Give us some little fun little stats. 40% of agents joined JS. Of course it did. Of course it did. That would be way better. Hell yeah. Hey, Sean D, appreciate you becoming an acolyte of the channel. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you, thank you. There's no need to keep this game up anymore. As good as Star Wars. Could even do a Telltale. Does 50% of Jedi Knights play Romance Kira, for example? See, knowing this stuff is important. It's really important to your experience. And to be fair, they were actually pretty tame with the cartel market this time around. It wasn't mentioned too much. They talked on the bundle, they got it over with, they moved on. So, not too much criticism there in this stream. I still think the last stream they did was much worse than this one. Mostly because of the story delay. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild that they can't actually put a proper update together. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. Make no mistake, this game makes money. It makes billions. Billions with a B. Not an M. Billions with a B. It makes a lot of fucking money. Okay? There is no reason, absolutely no reason, that they should not be investing that money back into the game, making it better, making expansions, and hiring competent developers. Because what we have now is not good enough. I'm sorry. I don't care how talented you are. Everything you're doing right now, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And I hope some of the developers are watching this. Like, I hope you're listening to me. Like, you need to go to your higher-ups and tell them that there's a problem. Okay? Beyond the story delays, we can get past that. With everything else, there is a sincere issue going on with this development team. Because none of you are focused on making a game. All of you are focused on making a business. Probably the only people that are actually focusing on fun things to do is the team that dealt with Master Mode, Relentless Replicator. Probably that team there is the only one you'll find right now with the most amount of passion. That's probably it. Because Lord knows it's not with the writers. Lord knows it's not with the game director. Hell, it's not with Keith. He's just off camera these days. He just disappeared, got promoted, told no one about it, and now pockets his fat check. Wasn't that convenient? Isn't it nice when a multi-billion-dollar game just lands in your lap? Absolutely craziness. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to leave you there. But please keep in mind that some of us are actually focusing on making some good Star Wars content for you. What you see on screen now is a still image from an upcoming fan animation that I'm working on. If you think this looks tasty, make sure you hit the subscribe button. More to come very soon. Promise you, we will make a cinematic experience. And as the fans, we will make this franchise great again. I assure you of that. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I'll catch you guys later.